The MCU is recognized for its complex and interconnected stories, where each film adds a new layer to the overall plot. In the recent trailer for Captain America 4, we could see the appearance of President Ross and his transformation into Red Hulk. But how did he get there? Hi everyone, and welcome to KraziGeek for a new video. Today we will try to explain and understand how Thunderbolt Ross became Red Hulk. And I think my theory holds up pretty well, and makes the link with an unfinished story of Phase 2 of the MCU. Prepare the coffee, sit down comfortably. I am Sam, and you are on KraziGeek. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe. In that way, you will be able to get notified for all my new videos. What if Thaddeus Ross, the key character of the MCU over the years, had become the Red Hulk thanks to a combination of technology and processes already introduced in the previous films? Let me explain. After the tumultuous events of Iron Man 3, it is reasonable to assume that the government has recovered the files from the Extremis. In this film, Pepper Potts is infected by the Swiss Extremis process, a procedure that gives superhuman abilities but also presents a high risk of spontaneous explosions. At the end of the film, Tony Stark finds a cure with the help of doctors to save Pepper. If the government had access to his research, there is no doubt that they would have tried to perfect them. The American government and other entities have always been interested in perfecting humans through super soldier serums or others. In Avengers: Infinity War, Thaddeus Ross briefly mentions a heart surgery during a conversation with Rhodes. At first glance, this statement may seem trivial, a simple remark on his fragile health and his advanced age. Nothing crazy, you will tell me. However, this mention takes on a whole new dimension when it is examined from the angle of the available medical advances thanks to the Extremis process introduced in Iron Man 3. General Ross is a key character in the Marvel Universe, known for his determination and his inflexible nature. As Army General and later as Secretary of State and President, Ross had direct access to the most advanced technology and research of the government. His mention of a heart surgery could indicate not only a simple medical intervention, but in this case, no theory. Otherwise, we could imagine that access to these technologies allowed him to heal, extend his life, and acquire a superhuman strength. In Iron Man 3, the Extremis process developed by Aldrich Killian and his team aimed to create super soldiers capable of rapid regeneration and thermal manipulation. Although the initial process was imperfect and unstable, Tony Stark finally found a remedy to save Pepper Potts infected by Extremis. If the government had access to Stark's research and notes, it is plausible that he was able to perfect the process by eliminating the risks of explosion while maintaining the advantages of regeneration and power. When we look closer, it is not difficult to imagine that leading military scientists would have jumped on the occasion of using such a technology on a figure as important as Thaddeus Ross, who was at that time between life and death. As Army General and Secretary of State, Ross would have been an ideal candidate to test and perfect medical and technological advances. By using Extremis, scientists could not only save Ross's life, but also improve his physical abilities, making him an even more precious asset for the government. The unaltered form of Extremis gives these subjects the ability to increase the temperature of their bodies, to create and even breathe fire. These characteristics strongly recall the powers of Red Hulk, the red version and more powerful than the original Hulk, known for its pyrokinetic capabilities and superhuman strength. If the Extremis process was used on Ross to heal his heart, it is logical to assume that an exposure to gamma radiation could have interfered with the process, creating an unstable and unpredictable situation. So I see here two possibilities. First scenario, improvisation with gamma radiation. The government, not having complete notes on Extremis, would have improvised with gamma radiation where it was necessary. This approach recalls the attempts made in The Incredible Hulk to perfect the super soldier serum, which led Bruce Banner to be exposed to gamma radiation and also resulted in the creation of the Abomination. In a second scenario, an exposure to gamma radiation could have triggered the Extremis mutation into Red Hulk. For example, the Leader, another MCU character known for his scientific manipulations and his superior intelligence, could trigger a gamma bomb during the events of Captain America 4. Since this movie comes out before Thunderbolt, this would give the opportunity to present Red Hulk, making it more important and established in the Thunderbolts movie. The detonation of a gamma bomb by the Leader would have catastrophic consequences, exposing many people to radiation and triggering unpredictable mutations. For Ross, already altered by the Extremis process, this additional exposure could have caused a complete transformation into Red Hulk. This dramatic evolution of the character would add a new dimension to the MCU's plots, introducing a new powerful and complex antagonist. The MCU is renowned for its subtle reminders and connections between movies. My theory would allow to link several elements of older movies in a coherent and satisfying way for fans. The Extremis files of Iron Man 3, the mention of Ross's cardiac surgery in Infinity War, and the experiments on the super soldier serum in The Incredible Hulk are as many pieces of a puzzle that could lead to the creation of Red Hulk. Thaddeus Thaddeus Ross has always been a complex character, shared between his duty towards the government and his obsession with controlling Hulk. His transformation would add a new layer of complexity to his character, transforming him from a simple antagonist into an overpowering threat with ambiguous motivations. This evolution would offer new narrative opportunities to explore Ross's internal conflicts and his interactions with the other characters of the MCU. Ross's transformation into Red Hulk via the acquisition and experimentation of the Extremis files is a theory that holds the road in the context of the MCU. It would allow us to exploit the narrative elements introduced in several movies while offering a logical and interesting evolution for Ross's character. This theory on the transformation of Thaddeus Ross fits perfectly into the complex universe of the MCU. It's up to you to give me your opinion now. What do you think of this theory? Let me know in the comments section because I love debating with you. And as usual, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell. See you next time on KraziGeek.